All right. Hey, welcome to episode number 3 of the Central Valley Mortgage News Podcast. My name's Chris Hall. I'm with Rate Mortgage, and I cover mortgage news and information right here in the Central Valley. So for me, that is San Joaquin and Stanislaus County. My home base is in Ripon. My office is in Turlock, but obviously I'm going to cover anywhere Stockton, Tracy, Manteca, Modesto, points in between. Question I get asked all the time, and it's really kind of a two-part question. Just came up yesterday, but literally I get questioned every time I mention the fact that I'm a mortgage loan officer. I've been doing this for 25 years. So it's kind of always the same question. What are rates going to do? Where are rates been, or what's the rate, right? That is like question number one for every mortgage loan professional and probably real estate professional that's ever been in the business. Like, what's the rate? That seems to be like the most important question. And the second part to that question is it a good time to buy? How is the market? How's the market in 2026? So we're going to dive in specifically in the Central Valley, how the market's doing in 2026. Is it a good time to buy? That's the main question. And what are rates going to look like? All right. So first off, mortgage rates. I'm going to start off by saying I do not have a crystal ball on mortgage rates. I don't have any idea what mortgage rates are going to do a year from now, 6 months from now. And if you've spoken to somebody recently and they've told you something, whether it's good or bad, rates are going to get better, rates are going to be here, rates are going to be there 6 months from now, a year from now, my advice to you is to ask another expert. And I'm being 100% serious because we cannot predict what interest rates are going to do. We can look at trend lines and we can share that. And I've got some information about that, and I'm going to share that with you. But, one thing that I hear a lot from people, even in my own industry, mortgage lenders, real estate professionals, when talking about interest rates or what's going to happen, number one thing I hear depends on what the Fed does. What's the Fed's going to do? What are the Feds going to do? What's Donald Trump? He's going to replace the Fed chair, and man, rates are going to go down on mortgages, and things are going to be great when that happens. Like I can't tell you how many times I've heard that over the last year. And here's the truth on that. Donald Trump or any president or any Fed chair or any Federal Reserve Board really has no direct control over mortgage rates. I hate to break that news to you, but it's 100% true. Now, what do they do? I don't want to get too into the weeds about what the federal funds rate is. It's essentially it's overnight lending between banks, and that's what they actually directly control. Now, peripherally, big word, what the Federal Reserve will do is help to set the tone for what the bond markets are going to do in the future. And they do it not so much by what they do, but what they say. And they really get their cues from lots of different things. This is a global economy. So the bond market's going to react based on mostly now inflation numbers and job numbers. And that was true up until about 2 weeks ago, until suddenly now we have a global conflict happening, right? And who would have predicted that if you in November would have said, hey, March is going to be like great for interest rates? The trend was heading that way, and I would have kind of agreed with that, looking at the trend. A year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we were sitting in the mid sevens, maybe high sevens even, for general mortgage rates. And going into the beginning of the spring, things were looking pretty good. We touched a 3-year low. It was 5.99 on interest rates, which sounds like so much better than 6, right? 5.99. It's almost like one of those gas station. I kind of joke about it, that it's like a gas station teaser. Oh, you're only paying, $3.99.9999 for a gallon of gas, not $4, right? So let's just be real. 5.99 it's 6. Psychologically, I get it. It sounds great. But, 5s, 6s, no matter what interest rates are and what's going to happen down the road, like when this conflict started, and, we pray it'll work itself out, and, not going to go down that road. But when that started, the new talk is inflation, right? Gas prices are going up. That's going to make everything more expensive. So they're going to tighten up rates. And so the bond market's really impacted almost immediately. Rates jumped a good quarter, 3/8, nearly overnight. Just within here's a 5-day chart. Down is bad, up is good for mortgage rates. So you can see there's I'm going to call it short-term volatility. So what does that mean for June or November? I don't know. I can't know. I know the trend's been down, and here's where we are today. And what does that mean for you if you're looking to buy a home right now in Modesto, right? So here's the hack. Mortgage rates are, yes, they're global conflicts can change mortgage rates. Those are things that we have absolutely no control over. Something we do have control over is our credit score, for instance. So did you know that if you have a 718 credit score and can get that score up to 725, you can get a 0.25% better interest rate with no more money out of your pocket, right? So it could be a simple thing like paying down a credit card bill just a little bit. And we can always help you with that, right? A good mortgage originator is going to be able to guide you to get your credit where it needs to be. And that's going to be an immediate impact no matter what the market does. It can lower your interest rate, lower your payment, and make you a more eligible home buyer. Or simply changing the type of loan that you're thinking about doing. So there's where you need an expert to help guide you on the different types of loan programs and different type of payment options. Here's the other hack on mortgage rates, and I'll just touch on this. You may see a headline rate of 5.99 or 6.25, but did you know that's not the only mortgage rate that's available on any given day? And what we provide, what I provide anyway, is 100% transparency on all the different interest rates available on the day that you're going to get into contract on your home, or even in our pre-approval kind of consultation that we do. I call it a discovery call. So here's mortgage rates for today. And you can see, you can pick a rate anywhere from, low, mid fours or high fours, all the way to 7 something, right? So you got a mortgage rate and a cost. So is it worth it to pay an extra cost to get a little bit lower interest rate? Well, maybe. It's a math problem at the end of the day. We can calculate that out for you and give you full transparency on what's happening. But don't let anybody tell you the rate is 5, rate is 6, rate is 6.5. No, this is everybody's mortgage rates. They always have all these options. They just may not know how to present it to you in the same way that maybe we would, right? 25 years in the business, I'm used to doing it. So mortgage rates, you can pick them practically. All right. So is it a good time for you to buy? That's the next question we get all the time. It depends on you. So can you fit a new home purchase into your budget? Do you have some flexibility with where you can get your funds? You can get your down payment from lots of different places. There's assistance programs, first-time homebuyer programs, gifts from family. That can make it the right time to buy for you right now. Maybe competition's a little bit lower and rates are slightly higher. But if you have a smart strategy behind your home purchase, so teaming up with a good mortgage lender, a good real estate agent, and a strategy to maybe get you that lower interest rate to make that payment right in your sweet spot where you want it to be, where it's comfortable for you. And don't forget about property taxes and homeowners insurance. Those are all things that you need to know up front as well. So make sure you're getting full transparency on that. But a good time to buy, if you have a smart strategy, a lot of people right now, what they're doing is they are using sellers funds, seller credits to help buy down that mortgage rate. So now again, we're taking the market forces, the wars, the inflation, the gas prices, all those things we can't control, and we're taking control of them by getting a credit from the seller. Now, you may not get the first house you want, but I'll tell you what, in the Central Valley right now, this month, this year, most of my buyers are getting some sort of credit if they're asking in the right way or making a structured offer to make it make sense. Hey, a question I like to ask the selling agent, what's important to the seller? Right? That's just a simple question that not a lot of people think to ask. A mortgage lender doesn't usually ask that, but I do. I'll call the agent and ask, hey, what's important to the seller? Is it staying in the house for another 30 days so that they can make a comfortable move? Build that into your offer. Ask for a little bit of a credit. Do a rent back. There's all kinds of strategies out there that can help you win in today's market. And the market's very good. I can tell you that this year we're a lot busier than they were for the last couple of years. Um, but that's where competition is going to start coming in if you're a home buyer. So sit down with a mortgage professional, a real estate professional, somebody local who knows the market, who knows the trends, who other people know, and can help you craft the best offer for you. That's going to determine whether it's a right time to buy or not. Just throwing a question out there, is it a good time to buy? Hey, for some people, no, it's not. But for a lot of people, it is. It's a better time than you think. So give us a call, send us a text. We're happy to help. I want you to be empowered and win in this market. And with strategies like I've kind of outlined here, you can. All right. So again, Chris Hall, guaranteed rate mortgage right here in the Central Valley, your local Central Valley mortgage expert. Thank you.